Hey, it's Friday. Friday, we made it. First full week of school. We made it. We're going to be in the lab today, checking out how to set up a scientific experiment. Biggest thing with this, we're working you through the Pendulum lab. And as you do a scientific experiment with a scientific method, the first step is to make sure that you identify your question or your problem. What are you trying to solve? After that point, you write your prediction, or also known as your hypothesis. It's you making a statement about what you think the answer to your question is. It doesn't have to be right, but you should base it on some prior knowledge. After you write your hypothesis, then you need to identify what variables there need to be for your experiment. There are three main types of variables. The part of the experiment that you're changing on purpose is known as the independent, or also the manipulated variable. And you can only change one thing at a time. So every experiment should only have one independent variable. Then you also have the dependent variable, also known as the responding variable, and that's the data that you're looking for. What are you collecting? What are you measuring during your experiment? And we'll get more into that here in a little bit. And then the third type of variable is your controlled variables. So in a controlled experiment, you can only change one thing. So everything else needs to be kept the same, and those are called your controlled variables. So today you came down to the lab and we set up a pendulum. Okay, a pendulum, oops, let's do this one over here. A pendulum is a mass that swings back and forth. We have these little washers, metal washers, and then we attach them to a meter stick. Okay, and then what we were testing was to see how the length of the string affected a period of a pendulum. One period of the pendulum would be swinging forward and back one time. That'd be one. And we timed that for 30 seconds and got some data to see how many times it swung back and forth at a certain length. And then you change the length of it, and then your group got to pick a third and final length, which we'll finish up on Monday. And then we're really focusing on controlling everything in your experiment except for changing the length of the string. So your group needs to make sure that you focus on controlling as much as you possibly can so that your results will be valid, they'll be accurate, and you'll get some good results. Later next week we'll get into a lab where your group will work by yourselves. It'll be less directed. It's called the penny drop lab. You'll need to follow some procedures and work your way through that, gathering data, drawing conclusions, writing a claim of evidence. So have a great weekend. We will talk to you later.